So today's video is about the ADE flashlight laser combo, and this one is like the newer version of the hg54R that I used to have. And this one, it's still a green laser. It also supports a flashlight, and ADE actually told me that they saw the video where the hg54R fell off, and they said it was a fitment issue probably, and this one will fit better. So they sent this one out to me to test out, and we're gonna go over my thoughts on it and hit the range and see how well it does and everything. This is the packaging it comes with, and this is very similar to what the hg54R comes in. As you can see down here, it says hg54 plus. So this is their plus version. I think it retails for around like $99.99, something like that. So it's a little bit more expensive, but you do gain a flashlight out of it. You also gain some size, but we're gonna get into that in a moment. When you open it up, it comes with a little bit of paperwork here. So this came in separately, but we have to talk about your feedback. And when you respond, they do send you like this little magnifier. It's a tiny little like card style one. It's not like a magnifying glass or anything. And then these are the instructions it comes with. It also comes with 2 Allen keys, one for zeroing the laser and the other one for attaching it to your rail. And then it comes with the battery. One difference I'm gonna go ahead and state, this thing is not coming off. So I just tried to remove it myself. Now with the hg54R, I had it fall off on me. With this one, trying to remove it, like I was pulling it off myself, it was a pain to get it off of here. So I don't see this one falling off like the other one did. Seems like it's gonna stay on pretty well. It is a little bit more bulky in comparison to like an Olight PL Mini or the hg54R. However, it's pretty close to the size of a Balder. They gained a little bit of extra size just because the Balder actually had the laser in the top part of the flashlight, where this has completely separate units. It's also got this spot up here where if you take this little cover off, they got like the end of a Q-tip in there, and I guess that's for if the flashlight gets dirty, you have that in there to kind of clean off real quick. So kind of neat that they put a little storage compartment on there. But yeah, so you have on this front right here, that is your little storage compartment that they put like a Q-tip in. And then you got your flashlight. This is your battery cover, and then that is your laser. You have on-off switches on both sides, and these are not ambidextrous on-off switches. So the left one is flashlight, and the right one is laser. So they do totally different things. And honestly, this is a little bit easier setup to use than the Olight Balder Mini. I just find it easier. You know, this left side is that, where the Olight Balder, you had that switch on the bottom. So I do like the power option with this. I like how they manipulated those. I find it easier to remember what you're doing, because if you accidentally click the Olight Balder over, you might think you're turning your flashlight on and shoot a laser out. It does take a little CR2 battery, so let me take this cover off real quick and I will show y'all. So that's a little battery it comes with, and you can pick these up on Amazon or I'm sure plenty of other places, but that is the battery it takes. So this is your battery door. You just drop it in, put this cap back on, that's how you replace the battery. Now this piece, I will go ahead and I guess pull it off just so y'all can see. Eventually. So that's the little battery door, or not battery door, but little cover. And then this is that Q-tip end that I was telling you all about. So it literally is the end of a Q-tip that they put in here. I do like that though. I mean, yeah, it's extra space, but that's pretty cool that they implemented that into it. I don't know how useful it would be, because I usually, if I'm cleaning off my flashlights, because I'm cleaning my whole firearm, but you know, still kind of cool. So how it is functioned, your left side here, so the left side of the laser, there's your flashlight, and if you press it one time, it turns your flashlight on. They say it's about 250 lumens. I could see that. It's nowhere near as bright as a Olight, but it's plenty of brightness for what you would need. I don't have a problem with the flashlight. Click it a second time, it gives you a strobe, and a third time just turns it back to the flashlight, and the fourth time just turns it off. With the laser, which is on the opposite side, one time just turns it on, second time strobes, third time turns it off. It seems to be made out of like aluminum. It doesn't add a ton of weight. I was kind of worried whenever I first unboxed it. It seemed kind of big and it was gonna weigh a lot, but it's not that bad. And I thought it was really big, but when I started looking at it, it just doesn't seem like it's really all that much bigger than the Olay Balder, so it's not a bad size. Some people are probably gonna be a little, it's too much for this, but that's not bad. And especially if you're running like a full size, like say, the G3 or a Glock 19, something like that, this isn't gonna seem anywhere as big compared to like on the G3C or the G2C. But I'm gonna quit boring you up front. Let's go ahead and head to the range and see if it holds 0 and if it falls off like the regular green dot sight that I got. All right, so I got the laser on here, bought a box of ammo. We're gonna see how it does. So I've got 3 targets set up here. Let me turn it around. So I'm gonna shoot 3 yards, 5 yards, and 7 yards with the laser, and we're gonna see how it performs. I have this zeroed in for rooms in my house, so I don't base it off of yardage. With defensive weapons and things that I'm setting up for that, I set it up for how the rooms are, because I'm not gonna be, you know, worrying about yardage and stuff. And if it's going on in my house, it makes sense for it to be set up to my room, not so much a range. But that's just me. It roughly about 20 feet is where it's zeroed at, so right under 7 yards. We're gonna see how it does. Someone brought up, yes, you've got the distance between sight and muzzle. That I understand, but the thing is, if I stay consistent aiming at one spot, the grouping should stay together. So that's how I do my testing. So that was my 3 yards given. 3 yards is not that far away, but all the grouping stayed right there for all the rounds. All right, there's 10 more in here. I'm at 5 yards. See how it does. All right, so I'm low and to the right at 5 yards. That's where I was hitting. All that right there. All right, 10 more. Got the target down at 7 yards. See how we do. To see where I'm hitting at real quick. So I'm thinking my bore sight might not be accurate because I've noticed it's getting lower and lower the further I go away. So because of that, I'm gonna try to bring it up and keep the group together, but that also means that my dot's gonna be off because I adjusted it to that bore sight too since the last time I was here. So I'm gonna try to bring it up some. Looks like I need to come up about 3 inches and see if I can keep my grouping together on the target. That way we can see how well it stays in the same place. All right, so let's bring it back. So at 7 yards, my first two were down here, then they all went right there when I brought it up to here. So yeah, my bore sight's off, so that kind of sucks, but it's not the laser's fault. And now we're just gonna fiddle with it back at 3 yards to see if we keep that kind of consistency. All right, that's 3 yards. Hopefully this camera can pick up the laser. I'm gonna be shooting the top right one. So it's staying on it. That was what I just did. So that was the ADE hg54 plus, and it held 0. It stayed on exactly where it was pointed at. The slight variation, obviously that's me. It wasn't, if it would have thrown off 0, it would have been probably a lot more than that, because when I brought it back to 3 yards, it would have been different than what it was the first time, and it was not. So altogether, it seems to work pretty good. No complaints so far. It stayed on, so that was the issue that I ran into with the original, the hg54R, was that it fell off the G2C, and then it wouldn't hold 0. I mean, one shot and I lost 0, which I think that was user error. I think I needed to bring it back to its original 0, and I was overcompensating. I don't know. It's kind of weird, because once I adjusted it back for the 22s and everything, and then I've also put it back on the G3 after that, and it stayed up just fine. So I don't know. I think somewhere along the line that was user error. But this one 100% stayed on 0. That was 50 rounds I put through it. Ammo's kind of expensive, so I can't, you know, get like 200 rounds, and it's harder to get to, so there's limitations on it and things like that. But I mean, it stayed on. It ran pretty well. I think it's pretty solid. The flashlight, it's a 250 lumen flashlight, so don't be expecting like a 500 lumen flashlight like you get with some things. It's 250 lumens, but it also draws less battery power, so hopefully that will help the battery life a little bit. But it stayed on the firearm. It held 0. The camera's bouncing everywhere because the Tahoe is super bouncy, but yeah, it seemed to run pretty good, and I'm happy with it. So that you get for like, I think 99 bucks, which isn't bad for a laser flashlight combo. The other alternative that I've tested is the Olight Balder, which you're going to be spending about $140, so about $40 cheaper, and you can get it on Amazon Prime. So if you wanted to order it and have it like almost instantly, I mean 2 days, give or take, some areas probably same day, and get it fast too. So yeah, I will put a link for it in the description below. I did not personally purchase this one. I am required to tell you they sent it out to me for testing, and so I tested it, and I think it's pretty solid. That's what I got. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and happy holidays. I will catch you later.